Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. Joe Budden is the biggest hater in the world. This guy went off on Drake and it was totally personal. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is like, yeah, we want to work with Trump. The Mexican president is like, nah, we want to fight you on this tariff business, bruh. Y'all could drag whoever you want on the internet. Serena Williams is off limits. Y'all are not going to drag my baby mama. Diddy has been denied bail for a third time. It's over for Diddy. What up? It's Trent Out Loud and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Thursday morning, my second favorite day of the week. Friday is one day away, y'all. All right, I got a great show set up for you guys. I got 4 lead stories. We're going to talk about Sharon Stone coming for Donald Trump, Bishop T.D. Jakes, Diddy, and Mexico putting out warnings to Donald Trump. In quick news, we're going to talk about Joe Budden, Drake, Samuel Jackson, TNT, Funkmaster Flex, Rudy Giuliani, and Serena Williams. As always, we're going to close out the show with question of the day and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, we have breaking news about Sean Diddy Combs. I had made a prediction that Combs would be home for Thanksgiving. Not like I wanted him to be home, but I had made a prediction and I was wrong. Diddy has been denied bail for a third time. It's over for Diddy. He will not be home for Thanksgiving and he is not getting out of jail before his court case, which will start May the 5th. It's over. It's done. I will tell you guys a little bit of what I know. This literally just got handed down like half an hour ago. From what I've heard from people who are in the courtroom and around the area who are just as shocked as I am, I must tell you, a lot of my sources were saying, listen, the rumbles that were going around New York's court system is that the judge was going to let him out. The judge was asking the prosecution for a lot of things and his defense team for a lot of things that made a lot of people think that he was getting out. They're asking for so many details about the New York apartment, a lot of letters and all these things that a judge wouldn't normally ask for if you were going to get denied bail. The 2 other times that he got denied bail, it was denied. It wasn't a question. We still don't know why this judge took so long and asked for so much things. And then at the last second, literally at the last second, denied bail. We're not too sure. But like I said, this is breaking news. I'm going to just tell you from what I have heard directly from somebody who I know is there. And then we will, maybe talk about it tomorrow once we get some more information. So these are the 6 reasons why the judge has denied him. So the first thing is that they feel like he is a security risk, a certain risk for witness tampering. So that has to do with the phone calls that he made to one of the singers in Dirty Money. That fell through. They feel like he's going to do witness tampering. She actually said that she would actually go on into the courtroom and say, no, he didn't call me. He didn't badger me. But I guess that didn't work out. So they feel like he's a threat for witness tampering. They feel like he is a danger to society. They tried to downplay the Cassie video as much as they could. He's not dangerous. That was a domestic situation. And, that's not a reflection of who he is. That was one of the reasons why that didn't work. One of the biggest problems I'm hearing was the weapons they found. They found 3 weapons at his home. And apparently that was the biggest problem. And that was the biggest differentiator between Jeffries, the CEO from Abercrombie and Fitch, where his lawyers were saying, hey, here's Jeffries that has the same charges. He got out on $10 million. Why is Diddy being held? We're offering $50 million and it's similar. This is one of the things that Diddy's lawyers had a very hard time in defending of him not being dangerous. Hey, you found 3 weapons in his house. And apparently not apparently, we know this for a fact that these 3 weapons had the serial number scratched off on them. So he didn't get them in legal means. That was one of the biggest issues. The Cassie videotape was also taken into question. So it looks like the lawyers trying to downplay that didn't work. One of the other big things is there's a text message from Cassie when they broke up. So I'm not too sure around when, but let's assume it's between 2016 and 2020 at some point. One of her text messages says, "You're sick to think that it's okay that you could do these things to me." And apparently his reply to that, which we don't have right now, that was taken into question, showing how that it wasn't something that was a domestic dispute, where it wasn't just a one-time thing or whatever. That showed the fact that this is something that was ongoing to the point that he was sick, that he has that much of an issue. And the other thing, which we knew, but was the fact that he was paying other inmates to take some of their phone time, which I had said was stupid of him. Like, that was, I don't understand why he would be in jail and be like literally doing things that are not legal in jail. He was paying off other inmates, because when you're in jail, you can only get a certain amount of phone time. He was paying off the guys in there to get some of their phone time. But bro, like, all your phone calls are recorded. Don't think you're Diddy. Don't think you jump on the phone and the people who are listening in are like, all right, he had his half-an-hour call. Why is he on for 3 hours? How do you hide that? So I think that plays into the witness tampering thing. So it's over for Diddy. Apparently, this is his third time at bail. It's over for him. Like I said, I've heard from sources that he called favors into Donald Trump. Donald Trump was looking into it. I told you guys a couple of days ago that the lead prosecutor, the USDA, he has resigned, and there's going to be a new Trump USDA, a lead prosecutor that's going to be appointed come January, when Trump gets in office, January the 20th. So I don't know if it's like, hey, you know, like, I'll try to do something for you now. If I can't do something now, I'll put another DA that's maybe, I don't know what's going on. And like I said, we don't even know if he really, you know, is able to help him or what is going on. I always said that, you know, I have heard sources say that he has reached out, and like Van Lathan from TMZ and a couple other people has said the same thing. We all know that Diddy and Trump have been boys for 25 years. So that's all I have from now. Always got to reiterate, from last week, I learned my lesson. I am literally just here reporting the news to you. I in no way want Diddy to get out on bail. I'm not saying that I want him to be not guilty, or I'm not saying that I want him to be guilty. I just want to make that clear. I'm literally just reporting the news as I do every day, doing my investigative journalism. And no skin in the game, literally just here to report it. And like I said, if Diddy is found guilty of these charges that they are accusing him of, I hope that Diddy spends the rest of his life in jail. He cannot face any time for what happened with the Cassie video, because there's the time limit has passed on that. I forgot the word that they use for that. Anyways, y'all know what I mean. It's superseded its time, so he cannot be charged for that. But all the other things that the feds are charging him for, if he is guilty, I hope that he spends the rest of his life in jail. So that is it. All I have for now. And we'll maybe follow up tomorrow if we get any more information. But as of now, Diddy will be staying in jail until May the 5th, when his court starts. Our first lead story. Sharon Stone says Donald Trump won the election because Americans don't travel and are uneducated. Yo, she didn't only just come for Donald Trump, she came for every American. It's crazy. Actress Sharon Stone is trending after sharing her opinion on why Americans elected Donald Trump as president again. During the film festival in Italy, she explained that the people are uneducated and don't travel enough. She said, "My country is in the midst of adolescence. Adolescence is very ignorant, and we are in our ignorant, arrogant adolescence phase. So many Americans don't travel. 80% of them don't have a passport. They are uneducated and are extremely naive." Stone also compared Italy's long history with Americans before saying that Italy has faced fascism. Italy has seen what happens under a fascist government, and the only way to help with these issues is to help each other. According to the New York Times, Italy's prime minister has been called far-right since her tenure started in 2022. The president has dispelled fears that her party, which has far-right roots, would lead Italy back to fascism. She has established a good working relationship with mainstream European leaders and the Biden administration, and has aligned with key international issues such as support for Ukraine. Well, Sharon Stone, she is literally blowing up. I think she's like the #1 most trending in entertainment right now. Of course, so many people are upset with her. Like I say every day, almost when I talk about politics, I don't stand on the left side or the right side. We're not red or blue. We're a purple podcast. And the thing that I love most is about American politics is that it's a democratic society. But the thing that I hate the most is when people say things like this. Just because somebody votes for Donald Trump or votes for somebody that you don't like, that's not any right to call them uneducated and blame it on them not traveling or not having a passport. You don't need to travel to have an education or to vote for the right person or the wrong person. I really disagree. And I think that's why she's trending so much. It's not trending for a good reason at all. This is the same thing when that comedian was at the Donald Trump rally saying that, Puerto Rican people are garbage. And then Biden came out and said that people that vote for Donald Trump is garbage. I don't feel like there's any room for that. There should be no room for that when it comes to politics. We are in a democratic society. You vote for who you want to vote for. And I don't think that you should automatically assume somebody's educational level based on whoever they vote for. Let me know what you comment. Well, let me know what you think in the comment section below. But I think Sharon Stone is 100% wrong for this, and there's no place for this in American politics. Our second lead story. Bishop T.D. Jakes sues Pastor Dwayne Youngblood for defamation after he claims Jake assaulted him when he was just a teen. Okay, so bear with me because some of you might be like, why are you reporting about this? It's very important, and it has to do with Diddy and his case and some lawyers that are suing Diddy, all right? This is all tied in, and I'll explain. Let's listen to this. Bishop T.D. Jakes is suing Pastor Dwayne Youngblood for defamation after Youngblood accused Bishop of assaulting him when he was 15 or 19 years old, according to the New York Post. And of course, you guys read between the lines. I'm saying assault, but you guys know what kind of assault it is. I can't say it on YouTube or we'll get flagged, okay? Youngblood has accused Bishop T.D. Jakes during a podcast episode of Larry Reed Live on October the 27th. In the lawsuit filed November 15th, Blood, who is represented by Tony Blackbird, the attorney who represents Little Rod in the lawsuit against Diddy, told Jakes to pay him $6 million in order to resolve the matter quickly. Let me just recap. Dwayne Youngblood, is suing Bishop T.D. Jakes for $6 million for something that he said Bishop T.D. Jakes did to him when he was 18 years old. He's using the same lawyer that's suing Diddy. If you guys remember when this whole Diddy thing broke out, Bishop T.D. Jakes was tied in. A lot of people said that Bishop T.D. Jakes was at a lot of those Diddy parties and him and Diddy had relations. Now, Bishop T.D. Jakes came out and completely denied all of that, said all of that was untrue. But a lot of people think that he's not telling the truth. Ironically, now, this other pastor, Youngblood, has come out and said, hey, not only was he at these Diddy parties and he was cool with Diddy, but he also did stuff to me. And so now he's trying to sue him for $6 million. Every time I talk about these things, I just find it ironic that people are suing for millions of dollars, but not suing when these things happen criminally. Why aren't you bringing them to criminal court? Not saying it hasn't happened, but why, when you were 18 or 19, didn't you go and try to face to put Bishop T.D. Jakes under some criminal conviction and stop him from doing it to anybody else if he did do these things for you? But no, it's a civil lawsuit for $6 million. Now, Bishop T.D. Jakes is returning, countersuing, and saying, I'm going to sue you for defamation. So just wanted to tie that in for you guys. A lot of people, of course, for those who don't know, Bishop T.D. Jakes just suffered, we think, a stroke Sunday while he was preaching. We still don't know, but he was on stage and he couldn't move. They had to rush him to the hospital. We don't know what's going on with him, but we do know that Bishop T.D. Jakes is unfortunately tied in with this whole Diddy thing. So I'll keep you guys up to date and let you guys know what goes on with these two court cases. Talking about Diddy, I got another Diddy story for you. In our third lead story, Diddy's lawyers argued he deserves Trump-level free speech protection in his bail fight. Diddy is pulling out all the stops in his fight for freedom, comparing himself to Donald Trump in a recent court filing. The music mogul's legal team argued he has the same free speech right as Donald Trump, citing a ruling from Trump's election interference case. Only a significant or imminent threat to the administration of criminal justice will support registering Mr. Trump's speech. They claimed Diddy has a constitutional right to criticize and speak out against the prosecution and urged the court to apply the same standard to him. Prosecutors pushed back, saying Trump's judges had to balance his right to campaign with ensuring a fair trial. So that's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. They're just using something that's precedent. I've already talked with you guys about this a couple of times. What happens sometimes in court, you could say, hey, this person was awarded this. I want the same right. What I do find ironic is that Diddy's lawyers are now using precedent that Donald Trump has had. I told you guys for the past couple of weeks, my sources say that Diddy has reached out to Donald Trump's team. I find it ironic now that all of a sudden his lawyers are using precedent that has happened in Donald Trump's case in Diddy's cases. Our fourth lead story. Mexico president warns of potential tariff retaliation following Donald Trump's recent threat. She says there's no subordination here. All right. Mexico's presidents indicate that Mexico might respond with its own tariff in light of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's warning of a 25% import tax on Mexican products unless the nation takes action to stop the movement of migrants across the border. The president expressed her openness to discussions regarding the matter at hand, while also emphasizing that the issue is primarily a concern for the U.S. One tariff could be followed by another in response, and so on until we put our common business at risk. Monday evening, Trump announced his intention to impose a 25% tax tariff on all imports from Canada and Mexico, along with an extra 10% tariff on goods coming from China as part of his initial executive action. If these tariffs are enacted, this could significantly increase costs for American customers across a wide range of items, including gasoline, vehicles, and other goods. All right, we spoke about this, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was yesterday, and I asked all of you to consider the fact that Donald Trump is using this as a negotiation tactic. Some of you in the comment sections was like, no, let's not do that because we should put the pressure on him now not to do this. Donald Trump said that he was going to use these tariffs as a negotiation tactic. He said that from the beginning. And again, I have to say, not standing up for him. I'm not saying that he's right. I'm just saying these are his methods. It's not going to just be put on automatically. And if it is put on day one, it can be taken off just as quick when the negotiations are over. Maybe it's only put on for a week or 2 weeks. To reiterate what I was saying, I actually heard this on a telecast. I'm not going to say which one I was listening to because then you guys are going to drag me for that. If it's Fox, you're listening to Fox. If it's CNN, you're listening to CNN. I heard it on as a news anchor from an economic pundit who has been in the economic field for over 20 or 30 years, and he said the exact same thing. Don't think these tariffs are going to be implemented for years. He just wants to negotiate with China. Hey, let's do this. When I have this, cool. Canada, cool. It's not going to go on, okay? It's just, don't worry about it. It's not going to happen. And I'll even tell you, it was Kevin O'Leary, okay? So he is actually even Canadian. And he even said there's no way there's going to be a 25% tariff on Canada. It's not going to happen. This is Trump. He's a bully in the schoolyard. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this if you don't do that. He is trying to just get the border crisis handled. We said even yesterday, he is expecting Canada to make sure that these things stop, these people and these things stop funneling into the Canadian border. So as soon as Canada stops that and Mexico stops that, it won't happen. So everybody just chill out and let the negotiations happen. When they get implemented and they stay there, then you could start freaking out. Just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below or send me emails, trendoutloud@cfqr600.com. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Joe Budden goes off on Drake for taking legal action against Universal Music Group over Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. Well, it's safe to say Joe Budden is definitely fed up with Drake. The rapper turned podcaster is weighing in on Drizzy's legal move against Universal Music Group, and let's just say he's not here for it at all. As previously reported, Drake has taken legal action against Universal Music Group, alleging that the company collaborated with Apple and Spotify to inflate Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us diss track using bots and illicit methods. Additionally, Drake had made another move against the music giant, accusing them of defamation and claiming that they should have stopped the accusations that Kendrick made in his songs. In episode 779, titled The Bot Like Us, Joe Budden dove into the topic and Joe let his feelings out. All right, so Joe Budden is really super strict on letting other podcasters or YouTubers use any material from him, so I do not want to play even a small clip. I'm going to read to you what Joe Budden said. He said all of this with yelling and swearing, all right? So just everything I read to you, just add in 10 more levels of octane because that's how much he was yelling. He literally hates Drake. He's a complete Drake hater. I'll give you more details after I read, all right? So Budden said, he's selfish, lying, manipulative, sack of ish. He has made enemies over the past 15 years, and now we're at the effing boiling point. You've been behind the scenes. You have been behind the scenes being the biggest sack of ish and that you could possibly be. And he is a white boy. He is Jewish, which is not true because Drake is actually half black, but whatever. And he said that he had too much dip on his chip. You have been behind the scenes, N-words baby mamas, sending N-word baby mamas money, and dog, you have been messaging N-words wives. All right. He also said, Drake, you N-word, you sack of ish. Behind the scenes, you have been running off your mouth, and because you had all the fans and Lucian, who is the CEO of Universal, and you had all of that, that is why everybody turned a blind eye. But now the blind eye is done. You no longer have Lucian or the fans. It's over for you. So, like, woo! I'm telling you, Joe went off. Now, for those of you who don't know, before this beef, or even I think even the beef with Meek, Joe does not like Drake, and he has literally like 6 or 7 Drake diss tracks. All right. So Joe has always come for Drake. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. And he's always been behind Kendrick with all of this whole beef that went on. So you got to take everything what he's saying with a grain of salt. That's why I don't like that he's putting out all of this. Oh, you did this with this one's baby mama. You did this with this one's wife, because all of them guys in the music industry always try to be with everybody else's girl and always try to hit on somebody else's baby mama or wives or whatever that. It's not only Drake out here, all right? Trust me when I tell you, I've been in the music industry long enough to know all these guys do each other dirty, all right? Just trust me on that. So I just don't like that that's what he's using. If you want to say, hey, I don't like that he's filing this lawsuit, fine, you can have their opinion. By the way, we covered this extensively in episode 385. And I gave you guys an 8-point breakdown on why Drake is suing Universal. So I'm not going to get into that today. You can go and check that out. But the crux of that whole episode was to tell you guys he's not suing because he lost the battle with Kendrick. He's suing Universal because Universal and Drake are in contract negotiations, and Universal is trying to lowball Drake. They inflated these numbers to bring Drake off of his high horse. Okay, that's really what he's suing. So I don't like that. Joe knows that. Joe's been in the industry long enough and he knows all of these contracts issues. And I just don't like that he's putting all the personal things behind it. Like, be grown up, Joe, and talk about the business and leave the gossip, baby mama, what he's doing with someone's wife and all this stuff. Leave that to the side, because that is not a conversation to be had on someone's podcast. Like, that's not what this is all about. So, and that's not even what him and Kendrick's beef is all about. So I just don't like the fact that Joe put it in. My point of view, just letting y'all know. All right, in more Joe Budden news, our second quick story. Joe Budden says he heard Lil Wayne was trying to call Kendrick Lamar after being name dropped on GNX and he got no answer. And he hints that he is going in the booth. So Again, don't want to play a clip. I might play one little clip for you guys quickly just so that you could hear it. But apparently, Lil Wayne called Kendrick, and sorry, for those of you who don't know, Kendrick on the first track, I don't remember what the name of the first track, on his new album, he said, I used to bump the Carter 3, Lil Wayne's album. I used to bump the Carter 3, but now I think Lil Wayne is upset with me because I'm on the Super Bowl and I used to be a fan. Something like that. I don't remember the exact line. So it wasn't a shot at Wayne, but it was kind of like a little bit like of a, hey, Wayne and I used to be cool. I used to be a fan, but I think he's mad at me now because I have the Super Bowl. What Joe is saying that he heard, this is a rumor, Lil Wayne picked up the phone and called Kendrick and was like, yo, were you coming for me? Are we battling? What's going on? And apparently Kendrick didn't answer. So Joe has heard that Wayne has gotten in the booth. And the conversation in the hip hop world is, look, I'll try my best to reach out to you mano a mano, but if you don't pick up, we're going to settle this on wax. We're going to go to the booth. So what Joe's alluding to is the fact that we might see a battle between Wayne and Kendrick Lamar. We talked about this last week when Wayne put out a tweet, and Wayne's tweet was, hey, I'm sitting out here not bothered. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why people are talking my name. Don't disturb the giant because I will destroy people. I think Kendrick not answering the phone is saying like, yo, come and destroy me. So let me know if you guys are up for a little Wayne Kendrick battle. As much as a Drake fan as I am, and I'm on Wayne's side, Drake's side, and Nicki's side, I have to admit, Kendrick is in a zone right now. Like, I'm not a big Kendrick fan. I respect him, but I'm not a fan. This GNX album was a pretty dope album. I did a review on it already. I think it's a dope album. I love his video for Squabble, which I hate to admit, but I love it. Kendrick's in his zone. Wayne is the GOAT. He's top 3 of all times, even top 5 of all times, if you want to argue top 3. I don't know if he's in the zone right now to be battling Kendrick. I'm afraid for him to battle Kendrick. But Lil Wayne is still Lil Wayne, one of the greatest of all times. His pen is one of the best. So I wouldn't be afraid for him. All I'm just saying is that Kendrick is in his zone. We'll see what happens. Our third quick story. I knew this was going to resurface. I just knew it. Reports that Drake allegedly threatened illegal action against Degrassi over his character being in a wheelchair resurfaced following his petition against Universal Music Group and Spotify. Oh, Lord. Drake's alleged history of using the law to handle personal disputes is being called out amid his recent legal action against Universal Music. Back in 2021, a writer for the Canadian teen drama series Degrassi, which Drake starred in for over 7 seasons, recalled that the rapper allegedly threatened legal action against the show in 2006 to prevent his character, Jimmy Brooks, from remaining in a wheelchair. During the interview, the writer, James Hurt, said this. He said there was a letter from a lawyer in Toronto, and it was from Aubrey. It was an odd letter, to say the least. It said, Aubrey Graham will not return to Degrassi Season 6 as Jimmy Brooks unless his injury is healed and he is out of his wheelchair. The writer said he came in and was like, what letter? I don't know anything about that. And I was like, all right, I understood. How do you feel about being in a wheelchair? Then he said that Drake took issue with his character being in a wheelchair and that his friends in the rap game would think that he is soft and he didn't want to be in a wheelchair anymore. Hertz added that Drake was ultimately apologetic over the entire ordeal and agreed to continue filming once he was able to convey the importance of his character. The reports are now recirculating thanks to Drake bringing legal action against Universal. So I knew about this. I actually used to do background on Degrassi for like, I think a season or two. So I knew this was gonna come back up. But like I said yesterday in episode 385, there's nothing wrong with taking legal action. I don't understand why in our hip hop community, we got to think like, legal action, you're snitching, whatever. If Drake is in a series and he doesn't want to be in a wheelchair and you say, look, listen, this is not good for my, what's the word I'm looking for? Like for my look, like for my name. A lot of actors have that in their contract. Will Smith has things in his contract. Denzel Washington. A lot of people are like, yo, you cannot, I don't want to, be a snitch in a movie. Nope, I will not be a snitch in a movie. That's gonna it ruins your. I can't find the right word, but you know what I mean? Like the perception. Yes, my perception, because when you act some way, people think that you're actually that person. So there's some actors that are like, nope, I don't want to be a snitch. Nope, I don't want to have this kind of job or that kind of job or this type of person. And you cannot change my character to be that. My character is this way, you cannot change me to be that, because I don't want people to perceive me that way in real life. So it's totally normal for Drake to put something like that in there. And it's totally normal for him to go to court and bring lawyers. I'm really upset with us as a community being like, well, let's not go to court. Like, we're not in the hood anymore, bro. We're not settling stuff in the street. If Drake has a problem with his record label, Drake is a billionaire. It's $1 billion industry. He's renegotiating a contract. You bring in lawyers. If you're signed to Degrassi and you started out walking around and talking whatever, and then now you're in a wheelchair and now you don't want to be in a wheelchair and they don't want to listen to you, you go to court. That's how things work out, man. Like, I'm really upset with this, as you could tell. All right, let's keep it Hollywood. Our fourth lead story. Samuel L. Jackson says only being nominated for an Oscar isn't enough. All right, Samuel L. Jackson is kind of going viral about this. He's sounding like a sore loser, but again, I agree with him. Actor Samuel L. Jackson is not here for people who claim that it's an honor to be nominated for an Oscar. He said, no, it ain't. The honor is to win. Despite his illustrious career, Sam Jackson has been nominated for one Oscar. This was for Best Supporting Actor in the 1995 Pulp Fiction, and therefore he is known for being a nominee. He said, you get nominated and folks go, yeah, I remember that. Most people forget. Generally, it's a contest you didn't volunteer to be in. Let me do my scene and let me remember for what it was. They nominate you, people go and they're like, yeah, what movie were you nominated for? And that's it. I want to be remembered as a one who won. So I totally agree with him. And because that's your own personal feeling. I am the type of person that I see the beauty in nominations. I see the beauty in small accolades. But I totally agree with him. If listen, I don't think nomination is anything for me. Like, I want to win. That's his own prerogative. I don't understand like people are dragging him for that. That doesn't mean that he's a sore loser. That means he doesn't perceive second and third place as a journey and he doesn't want anything for it. He just wants to act and go to his scene. And I don't think there's anything wrong. Let me know what you guys think about it. Our fifth quick story. All right, TNT is going viral for being afraid of playing Kendrick Lamar's track. Somebody, I think it was Jalen Rose, said, I don't know if y'all should be playing that Kendrick. Y'all might get a lawsuit up in here. Take a little, here's a little clip. Take a listen.
Buster! I don't know if y'all should be playing Kendrick. Y'all want to get a lawsuit up here.
That's hilarious. Of course, it's just a joke. You could obviously play it. But I think I was listening, I can't remember where it was. I saw it online or something where somebody was saying that's one of the reasons why Drake is suing Universal Music Group is to want to stop people from playing Not Like Us. And we all know that Kendrick Lamar is on his way to the Super Bowl and the Grammy Awards. So if people start being afraid because of this defamation lawsuit and Drake even wins, then you might get into a little bit of trouble playing Not Like Us. Again, the real reason is for contract disputes, but some people are saying this could be part of the reason. And it seems to be because, hey, Jalen is kind of making this a little comment. So we'll see if people down the line, not people like in their house, but like on the Super Bowl or at the Grammy Awards are playing it on TV. Let's see how much weight Drake's defamation case holds against Not Like Us. Our sixth quick story. Funkmaster Flex says Drake is right and exposes how the radio game is rigged. He also claims that Drake does not pay for play. All right, so Funkmaster Flex, a legendary radio host and DJ who was actually known for the one who actually started the Drake beef between him and Meek Mill and tried to actually take Drake down. This is actually crazy that he's actually coming out on Drake's defense. He tweeted this. He said, Drake is 100% right. National play per song that Drake doesn't pay for. He said, on pop radio, it costs $350,000. Urban radio, $250,000. Mix show DJs, $100,000. Local mix direct is $40,000 and local DJs is $30,000. He says, this is why independent artists don't rise to the top. All you artists know out there that I don't take a dime from you and your manager, a dime from you, your manager, or your label. So this goes back to Drake's suit. And again, if you want the full story, go to episode 385. Part of his suit is saying that Universal Music Group used Payola, which is them going to radio stations and paying off. Funk Flex is like, yo, I've been working at a station here for 25 years. This is how much it costs to get a song popping. And he's literally exposing and saying Drake is right and they paid him. Now, I think Funk Flex needs to be a little careful, because if you guys read the whole case, the whole petition, they're pulling out things that are saying online. They said something about academics on his stream. Somebody else said something on Instagram, and they're pulling all that. They might pull Flex into this lawsuit, be like, hey, here's somebody in New York City that says that this is true. So y'all better be careful what you say online here. Drake's lawyers are highly paid, sophisticated lawyers, and they will pull you into the lawsuit quick. Our seventh quick story. Lifetime hits back at Wendy Williams' guardian, claiming she supported her mental decline by failing to prevent alcohol abuse. All right, yesterday yesterday we told you guys about Wendy Williams' guardian saying that she is permanently incapacitated, which is super sad, from early onset dementia. And they're going through a court case with Lifetime, and her guardian was like, you guys should never put that out, blah, 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 blah. All right, you can go back to 385. Now, Lifetime is coming back and saying, Lifetime is claiming that Wendy Williams' guardian failed to protect the talk show host and isolate her amid dementia struggles. Additionally, the network claims that her guardian supported Williams' mental decline and destructive behavior. The most damning accusation is that the guardian failed to prevent her from abusing alcohol, which is linked to her aggressive dementia. Lifetime has filed a countersuit against her guardian, claiming she was interfering with their exercise of free speech right by trying to stop the documentary. They claim that the Guardian wanted Lifetime documentary not to be released because it made the Guardian look bad, not Wendy. So it's a whole tangled web they have weaved. Her guardian is, why did you put this out? Lifetime is saying the only reason why she didn't want to put it out is because she was to blame. Lifetime is also saying that their guardian wants her to get sicker because the more Wendy gets sicker, the more money the guardian makes. It's just a real sad situation. I talked about it yesterday. I was like, I have no words. This is just so sad, because if any of you guys know Wendy out there, when she was on her show or when she was on her radio station, like, Wendy does not play no games, man. So to see the fact that she's so enabled to even speak for herself, and these people are literally just fighting over her money, is the saddest thing literally ever to happen, man. So anyways, I hope this works out. And I don't even know whose side to be on. Is it the Guardian who's telling the truth that they don't wish Lifetime put this out? Or is it really Lifetime being like, hey, we put this out to expose the Guardian. They're the ones that are trying to take all the money from her. And why didn't they stop her from drinking? It's like, I don't even know whose side to be on, man. It's just a sad situation. Our ninth quick story. Rudy Giuliani claims I have no cash after hearing an ongoing $148 million defamation case. Rudy Giuliani claims he is broke and unable to pay his bills. After hearing on Tuesday to determine which assets he must surrender to satisfy the $148 million defamation judgment, the former lawyer said he cannot even afford a taxi because his money is tied up. He must soon surrender the money to Rudy Freeman and her daughter for falsely claiming the two helped President Biden win the 2020 election. I like that they keep pushing this whole Giuliani thing. Rinse him, take him for all his money. Give these two ladies what they deserve. There's a lawsuit, defamation. He lost. Give the women your money. Oh, I have 8 Rolexes. I have an apartment here or whatever. Giuliani is trying to be slick. I don't like it, man. Take a listen to Giuliani. You can hear the lying deep down in his voice.
The reality is, I have no cash. It's all tied up. If I wanted to call a taxi cab, I can't do it.
All right, our 10th quick story. Fans concerned about Serena Williams after recent video surfaces online. People are literally coming for my girl, Serena Williams, and it's really only because about her light skin new look. She does look like she lost significant amount of weight, so there's a little bit about that too. But sometimes after a woman is pregnant the second time, it's postpartum, she feels like she might not be looking good. Maybe she might be taking some diet pills. She could be just off balance. So maybe she did lose a lot of weight because of that. The light skinnedness, she's always had her skin problems. It could be makeup. I just think that y'all should just chill a little because I will not tolerate any Serena Williams slander, all right? Serena is my girl. I might try to find my picture of her when I was hanging out with her in Miami. I love Serena Williams. Y'all think I'll defend Sexy Red? Nah, man. I will defend Serena till the end, bro. That is my girl, man. That is my baby mama. No disrespect to her husband, but yo, that's my girl, man. Anyway, shout out to Serena. No Serena Williams slander will be tolerated on this podcast. Serena is fine. She's healthy, and she might be looking a little bit more light-skinned, but she's still beautiful, all right? All right, this brings us to question of the day. All right, it's time to face the truth. Is wired headphones better than wireless, the AirPods? Now, I love my AirPods. They're really dope, but I have to admit, I prefer wired. It's just so much more reliable. Like, it doesn't look as good, and it gets in the way, but it's just so much more reliable. I hate that you have to carry around the case. You got to charge it. You're on the plane. It dies. Then you're stuck. Like, I always have my wired as a backup because of the battery, but let's see what y'all think, all right? Somebody said, yeah, for sure, wired. Amen to wired. Somebody said regular AirPods over Pro. Somebody says, I ain't never lost my wired AirPods. I don't understand that. I never lost my wireless. Like, I keep them in the case. How do you lose that? But a lot of people complain about losing. Simply Red 82 said, my AirPods always fall out my ears. I don't know if my ears are too small or what. I do hear about people complaining about that too. Somebody says, till you walk past some ish and they snatch off your face like crazy. That's the wire getting in people's way. Somebody said, I never lost the left pair of my wired. Somebody said the wired is louder. I do think I have the Pros though. They are pretty loud. Somebody says pretty much either way they get lost and they hurt my ears. Some people, all right, somebody said profanity. Somebody said, I lost 4 single AirPods and still managed to have 6 wired clearly in my bag. Somebody says, I like Big Beat by Dre, wireless. All right, I don't have time to read on. It looks like everybody agrees with me, wired. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you prefer wired or wireless AirPods? All right, that brings us to sports news. The Suns hand the Lakers their first loss in the NBA Cup play. I'm not exactly too sure what this is, their first loss in Cup play. I assume they're talking about this in-season tournament. And if I'm right, who cares about this in-season tournament? When they started it last year, I was like, oh, okay, it might be kind of cool. I think it's horrible. I think the stickers on the court are horrible. Kind of hurts my eyes when I'm watching it. I think they should give this up. The Lakers won it last year and did nothing in the playoffs. I understand they're trying to make us watch a little bit earlier in the season for their TV deal to try to bring viewers. Nobody cares about the in-season tournament, bro. Nobody cares at all. They should just totally give that up. But anyways, that's just my 2 cents. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging with me and checking out my Thursday show. Make sure you tune in for Friday. Before I let you go, just want to remind you guys of all the ways to keep up with the Trend Out Loud podcast. If you're used to watching this podcast on YouTube or listening to it on podcast platforms, please try to check me out Monday through Friday from 11 to 12 on CFQR600.com or 600 AM if you're in the Montreal area. We do play the Trend Out Loud podcast, but we mix it in with 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B. It's a great hour. It's a great way for you to get your entertainment and viral news while listening to your favorite hits from the 90s and 2000s. Now, vice versa. If you can't always catch a show between 11 to 12, we get it. You're busy. You got things to do. Maybe you can't catch it that hour. All right. I'm going to give you 3 ways to keep up to date. 1, on CFQR600.com. When you go on the website, when you click Listen Live, there is a tab that says Listen on Demand. You click that tab and you will see the Trend Out Loud podcast. You can listen to all 386 podcasts right there at your heart's desire. Listen away. Listen to all of them if you'd like. All right. There's also YouTube. Of course, you can watch us on YouTube. And there is also podcasts. You can listen to us on any podcast platform you like. Just go to your desired site, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And y'all know we upload daily on YouTube too. You could catch me on any social platform. It's always the same handle, Trend Out Loud. And don't forget to follow the media company, Ecto City Media, on Instagram. Lastly, for all of you who are tuned in on CFQR 600, do not touch that dial. My homeboy Don Smooth is coming up next with the midday mix, the lunch mix, whatever you want to call it. It's a dope mix. Don't touch that dial. Don is coming up, and he's always dropping the hits. I will see you guys for tomorrow's show, yo. It's Friday. I'm excited. Let's go. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace.